All right, all right, all right. Great people, welcome, welcome. It has been an amazing week. Um, Definitely celebrated um, our anniversary. My wonderful queen here, Christy, the queen. Love you, honey. We
I
just
love you
celebrated
too, boo.
our anniversary this past Tuesday, so we didn't do the show. Um, so yes, it was amazing. It's an honor to be married to this wonderful and amazing woman. She really holds a lot of this stuff down, y'all. She does all the behind the scenes stuff. So a lot of stuff you guys see with the graphics and the content, a lot of that stuff, the little videos, the little flyers. She does all that stuff, and it ain't nothing like having somebody who have your back and support you and everything. So I wouldn't be able to do the show the way I do without her. So definitely shout out to my amazing,
That was sweet.
better half, like they say, the
Uh-huh.
queen herself,
And
Christy.
shout out to Chee for going ahead and running that mouth like he always do. Woo woo.
Running right to
I
the
love
bank,
it.
baby.
I love it.
Right to the
I love
bank.
it. Huh?
Yeah, I said I'm gonna run it right to the bank,
Go ahead.
all the way.
You do
You
what you
know,
do, boo. You do what you do. It's definitely a gift from it's definitely a gift from God. So you want to definitely put it to use, right?
yes, yes, I want to
Yes.
do
And
that.
keep taking care of that temple. And I love you dearly.
Absolutely. What happened here? Okay,
Yes.
yes, yes.
And
So,
shout out to King Fish over there,
yeah, I was
always holding it
about to go
down
next.
and
Fish, always
keeping your brother in
important,
check
man.
and balanced.
I try. I try. I try my best.
I don't need all that. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need they say
Okay.
balance check. The only checks I want to get is one I can cash. Them the checks I
Oh,
need right there. The balances what's in the account. Checks and balances. That's what we're talking about.
that's what we talking about. You are so goofy.
So I love you guys. So we're going to get started here. First and
First and
foremost,
foremost,
always give honor to God.
always.
Without God, we don't have anything. Without God, we are nothing. So Christy and I always give honor to God. Before we do anything, before we say anything, before we start any of these shows, excuse me, always give honor to God. And so thank God for keeping our marriage and keeping us healthy, our friends, our family members, all you guys, all the viewers that watch all the podcasts that we do. We love you guys and thank you for your support. But we pray for you as well, right? So when we give honor to God and we talk about God and how great He's been, how good He's been in our lives, that's because He's been good to us so that we can be good to you guys. All right, so definitely want to do that. My brother Fish, King Fish in the house. I think Damon and Datron. I think Datron hit me up. And Jay's the author, so he travels a lot and do a lot of different things. So we always try to rock and hold it down while the crew, do other things. So without further ado, we're gonna kind of jump into the topic of this evening. So I'm gonna go ahead and show, the little hold on, where's it at? All right. Is that what it is right here? All right, so I'm gonna share this with you guys. Are you guys able to see that?
Um,
Let
Yeah.
me know if you, yeah, it
yes.
says. All right, so it says, "Don't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your shoelaces." So I saw this on Facebook, or was it
It was
Instagram? One of
LinkedIn.
them.
It was LinkedIn.
It was on LinkedIn. So I saw that on LinkedIn, and it was a pretty cool, saying because it's self-explanatory, right? Don't let anybody who hasn't been in your shoes tell you to tie your shoelaces. Don't let anybody who hasn't experienced what you experienced or lived what you live or done what you've done, you know, kind of tell you what to do. In other words, right? So that's essentially, um, what it is that that statement is saying. But it's
Mhm.
very interesting because um,
What's
Christy
your
and I,
take on it, Chee? What's your take?
no, 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 hold on. I got to set it up right, man, because we had a discussion about this the other night,
Oh yeah.
had a discussion about this. So we said, you know what, we're gonna talk about it on the podcast. So, babe, why don't you start first and tell me what your perspective was on that, and then we'll go from there. So I'll let you go
Well,
first.
before I give my take, I'm very interested in the person who didn't have the conversation.
Oh yeah. Listen, you know what? That's perfectly fine. That's right.
Yes.
So Chris, tell me what you when you think of that statement. What is it you think about? Like, what is it essentially? What does that mean for you?
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe that one. It's kind of
Right.
it's a
Put
little
you on the
bit
spot.
not necessarily on the spot. It's just
It makes you think. Like, hold
it's
on.
kind of all over the place, but it's
Right.
not. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And that's exactly why I chose it. It's all over the
Because
place, but then it's not.
because it determines on who's reading it and how
But
they
what does
take
it
it.
mean to you? What does it mean to the reader, right? So the interpretation the reader is going to get um, when they, I just think of, so when they, when they read the quote, like what are you getting out of it, right? So
I would
Delaney,
take that. I would
but
take
go
that
ahead.
whoever wrote. I would take that whoever wrote the quote. The reason why they wrote it is basically to say to a person that was trying to tell them how to live their life, you don't know my life, so how can you tell me how to live it?
Right.
That's what I take from it.
Okay. So what is that? So what does that mean for you? So like in so let me give an example of what I mean by that. Let me set let me set the tone for what I'm saying here,
Well,
and let me give
tell
a good
him
example.
what did it make you feel, Chee? What did it make? How did it make you feel?
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I'll give my take in a minute. It's two different things, but what it was saying for me is it's really depends on the topic, depends on the situation that we're talking about. And one of the main things I said, don't anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your laces. I don't really agree with that wholeheartedly. I do, and then I don't.
Okay.
But it depends
Because
on the
when we
situation.
initially talked about it, you
Right.
agreed.
I did, and it made perfect sense. But then when we both started talking about it, I started thinking about it more and more, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It's a good topic to discuss because it's not what you think, if that makes
Right.
sense. You know, on the surface, yes, right. Don't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your shoelaces, right? Like Chris said, if you haven't been in my steps, in my shoes, haven't lived my life, you're not supposed to really tell me about the situation or about whatever it is that I'm dealing with.
And like
I have a
Keto
problem with
said, it's
that because
controversial.
Yeah, I
it's
mean, because
controversial, but
I don't
go
know.
ahead.
It just because of the fact you won't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your laces might be the reason why your laces are loose in the first place. You don't know how to listen.
Oh, there he is, DG the
Ooh, well
vocalist
said,
in the
Fish.
house. Day Tria, let's welcome my brother.
Oh, D.
D's in the house with us tonight. So
How you doing, Datrian?
I don't think he can
D,
hear us. Oh, we can't hear him.
Is he on mute?
I don't know. Hey D, we can't hear you.
He said,
Oh,
"Hold
so he
on."
coming on a minute. Hold on a
Oh,
second.
okay. He working on the
But
audio.
but here's the thing though, right? Here's why I said it is worldly wisdom. Yeah, it is, but then it's not. And I'm glad Jay mentioned that point. I lost Adrian. He's gonna come back on. Here's why. Um, the society and a lot of things has taught us or shown us
What about now,
that
y'all?
all right, yeah, we
We
can hear you
can hear
now,
you
family. You
now,
good?
You
D.
hear me? Am I loud and clear? Am I
Oh, you
coming
loud and
through?
clear, big boy.
All
You
right,
good.
bet.
You
All
good.
right, so let me set the stage for it then. So
Set it, man.
it
Set it.
depends on the topic.
Okay.
If I was to tell you that some of the smartest people I've ever met never went to college,
Oh
and
boy.
some of the some of the dumbest people I've ever met got 2-3 degrees, right?
Right.
What if I told you that the person who gave me some of the best marital advice wasn't even married?
Mm.
Would that constitute? What if I told you that the person who gave me some of the best financial advice wasn't a millionaire? Okay. Does that statement now carry any weight? Because on the flip side of it, watch this. We usually take advice from people financially who are what? Well off, millionaires,
Yeah.
and got money,
Yep.
right? We usually
And what's
take
the
marital
first thing that you
advice.
think? What's the first thing that you say when you talking to a broke person? Are you gonna take any financial advice from a broke person?
Right.
No.
Right. That's what you're thinking, right? I'm not
That's the
taking advice
first
from a
thing
broke
that
person.
you're thinking. I mean,
Right.
that's just like going to a doctor. Am I gonna go to a doctor that has no background,
No medical experience at all. No background.
right?
All
Hasn't
right.
even
Watch this though.
had the education.
Okay.
I don't
But
know
how
because
many? I don't know.
Dr. Saber didn't have a degree, so
Dr.
There
Sebi
you
didn't have a degree.
go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It depends. It goes
All right.
both
How about
ways.
this? How many homemade remedies came about from your grandmama or from your great grandmother? They
Right.
didn't have a medical degree. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? They
right.
didn't have everything
They
like
didn't,
that.
but they had life experience. And the thing is, so I don't know if anyone has ever spent time dealing with anyone that was homeless or anything like that. Sometimes the best teachers are people who live certain lives, and that they're able to understand certain things, and they can tell you what not to do, but sometimes within themselves they can't even not do those things, if that makes sense.
Right.
They're
Exactly.
a victim. They can be a victim of their own. It's almost like they can't do the things that they're telling someone else to do.
Yeah, it's basically a person giving advice but can't take it themselves, if that
Right.
makes sense. Or like,
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
And life has hit them. Life has done so many things to them that they can try to stop
Right.
and pinpoint and try to take care of somebody else to keep them from going down the same kind of road.
Right.
But
Right. Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Makes sense.
that's true. Very true.
So
Very true.
when I look at that statement, don't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your laces. If you think about it, there's more than one way to tie your laces.
Right.
So
True.
when you were taught, you put on your shoes and you were taught how to tie your laces. That don't necessarily mean that you was taught by the person who's fancy about it, who knows all the different ways that you can tie your laces.
who does it the best? Yeah.
Right.
The way that they know how. But
Yeah.
in essence, you still learned how to tie your laces, whether they're an expert in it or not. And then you could perfect it. Maybe you make it a little bit tighter than what they made it.
Right. You perfect it in your way.
Right.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Yeah.
Hey, think about it like this too. Not all shoes are made the same.
Hey, there you go. There you
So
go.
laces are probably put in differently, you know.
Right.
Maybe going across, it ain't the way you do it in these shoes. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and I think
if you really want to get
I got
deep,
on a tennis shoe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
if you really want to get deep, the person that made shoes without laces was a genius.
Oh man, boy, look here. We're gonna slip the boats on right there. All right,
Okay.
I got a pair of Skechers in there right now. I ain't even got to bend down and put them bad boys on.
Right.
Look at the little hard back heel. I
Right,
slipped my foot right up in there, man.
There it is, boy.
Look what Keto said, though. Look what Keto said. He said that statement is from someone who won't take correction or instructions.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the deal. But here's the thing that I want us to really think about, right?
Okay.
Initially, we all had to learn how to tie shoelaces. Right? Our parents taught us how to do it. Our grandparents taught our parents how to do it. We had other people who taught other people how to do it. Right? So it's been a generational thing passed on from one generation to another. So when somebody came out with the idea of like, you know, look, why do we need shoelaces? You see what I'm saying?
Somebody get that boy the
Nate,
link, man.
you can come
Give
on the
him the
show,
link, man.
Nate.
Give him the link, man. Send him the link, bro.
I know, right?
You know what? Let me send Nate the link. You know
Yeah,
what?
We
because
need,
he
we need to
Nate
get
jump
Keto
bro.
on here while you playing.
Yeah, I need to
thing
get
is
Jay on here too, man. Let me get
Nate,
Yes.
Nate gonna
Come
go
on, man.
so deep into the rabbit hole, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh my
Nate made me
goodness.
sick.
Mm.
All right,
Y'all are
hold
a
on.
trip.
You know what? I am going to send him the link as we're talking
I'm
here.
scared. I'm scared.
With Nate on
You know he goes in.
Man, look, Nate wrote a book
Him
on
and
this. Here.
Jay. Him and Keto.
Nate probably the one that wrote this statement.
it. Right?
Like, let me tell you. And that's look. He said, "Give me a few minutes. Don't be afraid."
Oh man.
So I sent him the link. So I
Oh,
might need to come on here, man. So
Lord.
we could
All right. So we'll give him a few minutes.
a few minutes jump on here. But
But
here's the thing.
yeah,
Like
we were
look,
we were taught.
we have been conditioned, right? And that's the key. We have been conditioned in life to do things a certain way. So we do things a certain way for a long time until somebody comes up with a better idea. Like, okay, well, that makes sense, right? A lot of us think about how we got degrees or we had to go to college and do all that stuff. And now look at things now, right? There are a lot of people now who don't have degrees. You can get certifications now. There are people with certifications who make more money than people with degrees, right?
True.
There are now ways where people make money from an entrepreneurial standpoint where you don't have to work for somebody. So all these things came about, though, watch this, from somebody who wasn't doing the thing that everybody else was doing, right? They decided, I want to do something different. So we still live in a society right now where we think like that. And there's nothing wrong with some of this thinking, though. Like, if I have marital problems, okay, does that mean I'm not going to, you know, he is, y'all.
Nate the Great.
What up, Christy Christacular?
Shout out to the
Hold
beat.
on, brother.
What up, Chris? What up, everybody?
What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Hello, my brother.
Hey, what's up,
Keto
my sister?
Keto
Doing
gonna
that.
start killing you in the comments, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Hey, put him in.
Oh, look. Keto says,
All right,
I'm
so-
the link.
Yeah, I'm just like, how you gonna have this show?
You might as well.
How you gonna have this show and not put us in, bro?
Yeah,
All right, let me send him the link. Hold on. But the thing about it, we were just. But look,
Keto,
this
it's
is the whole
coming.
part about it.
It's coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him the link. Keto. Hold on, I'm gonna send him the link too. But look, the whole purpose of me doing it wasn't like, it was a simple fact that I was like, okay, you know what? It's just a random topic me and Christy had. And that's how we do the show. Y'all know how we do the show.
It was a random
You know what I'm saying?
conversation.
It's random
the
comment.
comment-
We had
Started
a
off, I said it could go two ways, and he was like,
all right, send
"No,
the link.
that statement is true." And I was like, "Hold on, wait a minute."
Well, it is true.
Hey, post-
but then Chris
yo, post a
Post it
statement
again?
again. Yeah,
Post the statement again.
let me see what Chiano in his great abundance knowledge has deemed the words correct.
Whatever.
Let's see.
Whatever. All right, you see it now. It says, let me know when you see it. It says,
Keto gonna
don't let
bring
it.
some
it's
stuff
low.
down y'all too now.
All right, here we go. Go ahead.
You see
Can you
that?
see it?
Don't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes
Tell you how to tie your laces.
Don't. That's an interesting statement. I actually, you know what? To be honest with you, to be honest with you, I agree with it. I agree. You've never. It's like,
watch this.
Just go
That's
with me.
why
Go
we
with
have
me. Go
that
with me.
conversation. Okay.
Go with me.
All right, go ahead.
So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like, how can you tell me, for example, dealing with us as Black people, right? So how can you tell me that me fighting, for our upliftment and fighting for equity and fighting for tangibles is something that we shouldn't be fighting for, if in a sense no one in your lineage or anyone in your families have ever experienced the type of oppression and type of targeting and type of negative activity towards us? How can you tell me that?
I got.
Oh,
Well, okay.
I told y'all that boy was gonna go down that rabbit hole.
I see
Nate
what
was
you
on
did.
something.
Chris.
Nate was on to something.
That
And
boy
now
Chee.
here we
Yeah,
go
man,
with
we
Keto.
on you. We on you,
Hello,
Nate.
brother
Here we
Keto.
go.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, we jumping off. We jumping off. All right, Nate, go ahead.
He on the book.
How can somebody tell
Hold
you?
on.
Really go
Nate was
You
talking
see what I'm
about
saying? This
nobody
is
in our
exactly
city.
why. This is exactly why I gotta light incense, because it's about to get deep up in this mother.
Oh,
Boy, hey,
That's why I got my incense up here. You know what I mean?
say, bro. Hey,
It's only incense. I ain't got nothing else.
okay.
Right. All right. So you're right. Now, how can somebody who have not been in your shoes, in other words, there's somebody who's not, but what you're saying is because somebody's not African American or they have not been through what you've been through, they haven't lived in your skin, can they not relate though to
first of all, African American are immigrants,
injustices?
so no, we're not the same. African American is different.
Black
Hold
people
on.
then. I know what you mean. You're going deep. You're
Okay,
going. You're about to go culture.
hold on. But anyone can basically after 1980, after 1965 Immigration Act, anyone can identify as black. You see what I mean? The influx of Caribbeans and Africans didn't happen until the 80s, until after 1980. Right. So, but initially before that, when you talk about black, it was white people and then former slaves. You see what I mean? So when you say black now in 2023, black now in 2023 encompasses people who have come from other countries, Afro-Caribbean or Afro-Dominican. They can consider themselves.
Man, we're not going to have a history lesson on black people.
I'm just being honest.
Black
people.
No,
I can't. You can't know.
I'm
giving you context.
Look, I ain't even got a mic on my hand. There's one on my screen, but he just dropped it.
You did it.
David, I knew he was gonna come in here and do that. The topic tonight is: do you can?
But here's the thing, Nate. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even if they haven't been in your shoes, can they not empathize with you?
Can they not relate?
But see, okay, now go with me. Go with me. Oh, hold on. The question was you telling me how to tie my shoes. Not saying that I can empathize the fact that you don't know how to tie your shoes. That's a difference. Right. I can empathize with you. I can have empathy.
Right, but the shoe itself, though, but tying the shoe itself it's a situation where it doesn't matter what race you are or who you are. It's the act of tying the shoe. So I can feel a certain way I can feel the way you feel. I can go through what you're going through without being you. Do you not think that's possible?
Well,
do you not think somebody just because I'm not you doesn't mean I don't experience or I don't feel something?
But I might have some ideas that you might not have thought about.
Hold on. I feel you. I feel both of you. I think that we can go through similar experiences, but they're not the same. And again, based on this, and again, I can only speak on this country, based on situations, based on certain things. I mean, for example, me going to a job and somebody that's white going to a job, and the person that's interviewing me is white. Okay. Now, going to a job and the person interviewing me is white. We have the same, and it's been proven we have the same qualifications. But due to the way that we're portrayed in this country, me not getting the job can be based on, the fact that, he's black and we don't just like that, versus the white man might not get the job. He might not have the education, but because he is white or whatever, then it's like, we'll give it to you. You see what I mean? So when I say you can have it's interesting, but now we talking about like loss. Yeah. If you've lost somebody, okay, and I've lost somebody, then yeah, we have similar experiences. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah, but the pain
so
that you did,
I think it's situational. It's situational.
But even so, right? But even pain is pain, right? So if you have lost somebody that you have lost that's close to you, and I've lost somebody that's close to me, how we handle it could be different, right? But the pain itself, right? The pain that I feel is very similar because we're both hurting. How much we hurt,
not necessarily.
The levels we hurt,
not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, but it's
no. Go with me because everyone doesn't experience. Yes, exactly, and everyone doesn't experience pain the same way. Everyone doesn't deal with situations the same way. Experience loss. I mean, you've experienced a type of loss, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the same type. It's a loss that I lost.
Right, but
Yeah, I think what Chee
but
said
that's
is
what I'm saying, though.
universally, y'all both.
Universally, my reaction does not take away from my pain. See, if you look at my
forget the universe,
reaction,
man.
I may not act the same way you act. I may not act the same way you act.
Right.
I think Paul is going down the wrong
Forget the
road.
universe, man. Hey, hold on. Hey, stop.
Jay,
Hey, let
I'm just saying.
Keto
Jay,
get
jump in
in.
here, Keto. Come on, Jay.
Yes, I want to hear
What's up, brother?
Keto.
I think y'all took this car down the wrong road. Like I said in the beginning, the person who made that statement is hurt because I have gotten wisdom from people who do not even profess Jesus. Let me give you one example. A man by the name of Charlie Chan. It was a TV show. He said this: beauty and brains seldom dance in street together. Have you not seen that to be true? The other one I got from Clint Eastwood. He said a good man knows his limitations. So just because somebody hasn't been in your shoes, see, that's an old wise tale saying. Everybody has experienced something relating to what you're in.
Okay.
Everybody has experienced something relating to what you're in. So what we need to do is recognize the wisdom in the brown paper bag.
I like that. I like that. Okay, but let me ask you. Okay, so let me go ahead and play angel's advocate then. You know, I'm gonna flip it. So right? So
that's what you do, Chee.
It's situational things, right?
Rub it down.
We all can relate to certain things, even though we all
you know it, Nate.
We're all relatable, right?
Man, somebody mute that boy, man.
Okay,
Angel
so let me ask you a question, right? So like Jay was just saying, if I have some of the wisest things, some of the best things, the best advice I've gotten came from people who didn't experience that. But let me ask you a question though. When it's all said and done, if we're told, if you had a choice to have somebody that's going to give you wisdom, perspective, or insight on finances, would it be somebody who don't have money, but they have a lot of ways they know how you should get money because maybe they've experienced losing it more than they're actually getting it, or somebody who actually has money, right? They have it. Now here's the kicker. The person who got the money, we don't know how they got it. They could be embezzling it. They could be, fraud. There could be anything with it, right? But which one would you think most society will go after? The person that has the money to give me advice about it, or the person who's an honest person, a good person, they just don't have the capital? Does that mean that they're no longer credible?
Can I answer this one?
Go ahead.
Or someone else? Oh.
No,
okay, so when you were saying about the getting the money, when you were saying having money versus getting money and don't have it. So my question is this: the person that has the money, that got the money, how when they got it, how were they able to retain? I think that when you were talking about the person that got the money, if a person can make money but doesn't know how to keep it or retain it, that person too also has knowledge as well, because they know how to get it, they just don't know how to keep it. You see what I mean? So you can take part of it, and the person that has the money, well, again, going back to what you said, how did they get it? You see what I mean? How did you get money? Was it passed down to you? Was it a trust fund? You see what I'm saying? Just because you have it doesn't necessarily mean you know how to show me how to get it. But I want to go back to a previous segment when he made the comment about Clint Eastwood, where it says a good man knows his limits. Okay, I guess my question is that if anything, would it not be a smart man knows his limits versus a good man? Because good can be subjective.
Now, here you go with semantics.
Hey man,
I'm just saying. That's how my mind.
This is the show. This is the show.
Appropriate and of mutual benefit. That is what the word good means. Suitable, appropriate, and of mutual benefit. So when the Bible even uses the word good. The Bible says the Lord will give you that which is good. So it will give you that which is suitable to you appropriate for you, and it will be a mutual benefit to those around you.
But do I know my limit though? Because of good.
If you good, where does goodness come from?
There you go.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what's best for you,
No,
right? It
goodness,
could be subjective.
goodness has a root. Where is the root?
Okay.
The goodness root is in the God
Okay.
of the universe.
There's
So
another
a
saying.
good man, which is a God man who has his roots in God, knows his limitations.
Right. And good is simply look when we
There's-
talked about
There's another scripture
this, right?
though, babe.
It's no scripture, and I'm gonna tell you this. Albert Einstein says what? He said that, remember that statement we read that statement, babe? He says, there is no scientific measurement for darkness. It's just simply the absence of light. That's all it is. You can everything on light, you can go ahead and assess it, analyze it, and everything else. You can't do it for darkness. Darkness is simply the absence of light.
You
The
can't
same thing can be said about good, though. Goodness, right? So good it's just so evil or bad is the absence of good. So that's how you can look at it from that standpoint.
So
right? So when you break down subjectively good, and even the way you break it down, yeah, you can say, okay, but what is good, right? Good is the thing that's absent of evil, whatever that context is. However you say that.
I got a question.
So question.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Chris, because I got another one. Go ahead.
A good man knows his limitation, right? So did he go past his limit and then he learned it?
Or did he stay stuck in his limitation?
Did he?
I don't know.
Or,
yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
No,
well,
that's what I'm trying to get to.
But watch
Because
this.
I'm trying to.
It's
like
answer.
It's like a person. It's like a person.
Did he go past his limit or stop at his limit?
Right.
And is that how he figured out what his limit was?
Right. That's what I'm trying to get to.
We all know
it's like a person
it's
like a person swimming. You know what I mean? They know how far out to go.
Right. If you can't swim, you're not going to go into deep water. You know what I'm saying?
I know my limit.
Drown.
I know.
You know your limit.
But
your limit is where your
what
toes hit that
but
water.
what does it have to be? But exactly, that's what I'm saying. What does it have to be? What does it have to do with good? My question is this: so you think, okay,
because watch this though. A good person, when he said good person has limitations. If I just gave you the analogy of swimming, I'm going to go as far as the water's edge where I can fit. You ever be in a pool and then your tippy toes? You know, and that water come up to your neck, right? I know the limitation is I can't let that water get past my chin right up here. Because
can't you be bad? Wait, hold on. But can't you be bad? And hold on, can't you be evil and still know that you're on your tippy toes and the water's at your neck and I know not to swim out there?
What I'm saying is,
what if there's
you don't have a limitation?
Like, what if you
don't have
a
watch this? If you don't have a limitation, then you'll just keep going. That what separates good and evil in society is good people know limitations, right? An evil person, we're gonna rob a bank. If I say, you know what, man, I need to get this money. An evil person will go and say, you know what, you're right. That's a bank. It has money, and I want it. The limitation that stops you is the goodness that says, you know what, I'm not going to rob a bank because it's a wrong thing to do. That's how the limitation part comes into play.
I got a question. Okay, so just go with me. So you're saying that because I'm using a bank example. So you say, hey, that's the bank that got money. So the evil person is gonna say, hey, yeah, let's go rob the bank because it has money, right? Could that not just be a form of selfishness? Because here's the deal: you don't necessarily have to be. Let me finish. Hold on. Okay, you can be selfish. So you can be selfish while being a bank. I got you.
Right.
But when you say that I'm going, just go rob the bank because that's evil. Is it rooted in evil or is it rooted in survival?
Because selfishness is grounded on the fact that I want something for me, right? Is whatever it is I want for me. For me to go rob a bank, that's another level. That's where evil comes in because I could be selfish and say I want my money. I'm gonna keep my own check or whatever. I'm evil to another. I cross the line when I'm finna go actually rob a bank.
So would you say that Robin Hood?
That's crossing the limitations.
Robin Hood, would be evil?
Yeah, he robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. So if I rob the bank, but I take the money and give it to some other people, then I'm not evil. I'm good.
Over that. How you just gonna glance over that?
Right. So when you look at
I'm just making I'm getting understanding. That's all.
It's
Hold on,
Keep talking. Come on, man.
Go ahead, Jay. I'm gonna answer.
First of all, let's deal with the truth. Robin Hood is a myth.
Robin Hood is a myth.
Is it though? Is it though? Because is it though? Is it really? Like,
watch this. If you rob the rich get to the poor, you know what you're gonna end up in? Jail.
What? Oh, that's how that works.
Now, if you really look at the movie Robin Hood, he was a lord. His stuff was taken from him, so he really wasn't robbing. He was in trying to avert or overturn an injustice. He wasn't doing
by
it
giving the power to the people.
He was trying to not giving the power to the people, giving it back to the ruling authorities, the dons and the landowners. That's what he was trying to do. Now back to the good and evil thing. There are only three powers in the universe. Only three. God, man, and the devil. Both of them are energized. Man is neutral. He is activated or energized by one of the other two. All day long, God is calling you, inviting you. The devil is stalking you and trying to overthrow you. Scripture says, be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, goes about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Didn't say devouring whom he could. It says seeking whom he may. So that means there are some people that are devour proof. They even use the lion. The lion seeks out the weakest prey, the weakest one, and then he runs the herd. The females run the herd and separate the weak one from the strong ones. Then they devour it. So the whole thing is good, God, roots in good and God. Satan, bad, roots in there. All day long, you are getting thoughts thrown into your mind. And you are examining them to see where some people don't do it as good as they should, but you're examining them to see where they will lead you. Right. Will they lead you into something bad? Or will it lead you into something good?
So you're getting these thoughts. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fish.
I'm just trying to figure out who's the one that's trying to teach you how to tie the laces.
Exactly. Right. Because I'm like, and going back to the thoughts, it's like, well, you got these thoughts, and this thoughts will lead you here, lead you there. I mean, I'm with you though.
Both can
I'm just trying to.
But
both
the
can do it, right?
Part,
so
the limitation part of anything is where you don't cross that line, right? Even if you have the thoughts on it.
Hold up, Chee. Hold on. Christy was talking. Go ahead, Christy.
Oh, whatever, Nate.
Because she was talking, and you just cut her off. She was talking, and you just like cut her off.
I love you, honey bunny.
I love you too.
I love you too.
No, he's not.
They try.
Go ahead,
look, Dacian like
over there.
I ain't see nothing. Look.
Go ahead, hon.
So
that
whole topic, whether somebody who experienced to teach you how to tie your laces or whatever, I think it can go both ways. That's just my opinion. And the reason why I say I think it can go both ways is because there's some people who might be, I don't know, let's talk about counselors. You have the good ones and the bad ones. They have a degree. Okay? They have a degree. They have certifications. They're supposed to understand human behavior and the sociology with that, right? But they
not necessarily.
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to, yeah.
Not right. Yeah. But even from their experiences, they're bringing their experiences into whatever they're telling you. So if they're used to chaos or they're used to certain things, they might bring that in the conversation and think that's the norm. And it's not. You're like, oh, that's not normal to me, but in their eyes, it's normal. So they may not see how detrimental a situation is because they're not empathizing. They're not looking in your shoes. They're looking at their experiences and saying, hey, it wasn't that bad to me. Whereas somebody else who, let's say they don't have a degree, they don't have, anything into sociology or psychology or anything like that, but it's an older person who may have been through some things, who might be able to coach you, who might be able to direct you. That person is somebody that you may be able to talk to. But on the other side, again, going back to a counselor, there's somebody who may not have walked in your shoes, but they empathize so much that they can come up with some ideas that could possibly help you without them necessarily going through the same things. Because there's something that Keto and you, babe, have said. You're either going to learn from revelation or tribulation.
That's my statement. Why he's stealing my stuff?
Oh, it's not
copyrighted. It is not copyrighted. So it's mine as much as it's yours.
But you know what though? Hey, Christy, I love what you said because once I went back and looked at the statement, I love what you said, Christy. I was reading the statement. It said, "Don't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your laces." Right. Instead of him telling me, but going back to what you say, the person who has been through something, they can share with you the experience, but make suggestions. Maybe make suggestions, not necessarily telling me what to do. Maybe maybe should frame that way. So maybe the person should not look at it as you telling me, but offering me advice. Maybe that's it.
The statement. When you look at the statement, when you even read the statement, you hear hurt all in the statement. Don't let somebody tell somebody everything you are or ever will be. You learn from somebody.
Ain't that the truth? I ain't think that's right. You're right.
Yeah. You learn from somebody, but now you've been hurt and you don't want nobody telling you nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing, and I don't want nobody. Okay, well, learn it the hard way because experience is the worst teacher. No, it's not. It is the worst teacher. You don't have a life long enough to learn and experience everything you need to know. Mentorship is the best way to teach. So you learn from the pain of another, and you don't have to go through it to learn. So you can take what this man took 60 years to learn. You can learn it with $20 and a book, 2 weeks.
Right. Well, I'm okay. So I'm going to disagree with you on that. And the reason I say I disagree with you on that because just because you go through something don't necessarily mean it's negative. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I don't think. And then when I look at the statement again, hold on. I disagree. Experience is not the worst teacher. I disagree with you on that one. I think experience of certain experiences or certain things that you can go through can be bad that you shouldn't have to go through. But I think also going through things gives you in a sense, learning from a situation, going through something gives you a sense of wisdom that you can share with someone else.
Back from.
Right. No, I agree. No, I agree. No. I agree with you. I just don't think as overall it's a bad. That's all.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but
let me help you out. My perspective that I just gave you is from the Bible.
Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Well, my perspective that I just gave you is from life, and I've been through some things, and I get it. You know what I mean? And I understand that I understand the Bible is your foundation, and that's fine. That's cool. I respect that. You know what I mean? But you can't just use that as the end all to everything. I'm just gonna be honest. There's too many other texts out there. But I got you.
Okay.
It works for you. Well, that works for you. That's cool.
A prudent man perceives the danger and hides himself. The simple pass on and are punished.
Yeah, but all experiences are not negative. That's all I'm saying.
But why would you go through? But that's what it's saying. It's like, so I agree. I disagree. That why would I want to go through something negative if I don't have to? Now, if you,
I just said
you're not listening.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I just said that.
Are not bad. I understand that.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Look, all experiences you go through. When we look at it and say, okay, you know what? The feeling that you get associated with those experiences, if you could avoid it, would you?
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's like this.
They just said no. Why would you not?
Okay. That's so. This is a perfect example.
No, go ahead, Fish. Yeah,
this is a perfect example. You get into a relationship with someone. Mm-hmm. Walking into a relationship, you didn't think that relationship was going to be bad.
Right.
But you went through that relationship. Bad things happen. and then you had to come from that relationship, or you chose to stay in that relationship. Now that's the thing of, okay, now that's a life lesson
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that you had to go through that.
Yes.
Walking into it, you did not realize that was going to be a bad situation, unless you knew from the get-go that that was a bad situation. You still chose to go through it, and
Exactly.
you have
That's
no
why I
one to
said.
blame but yourself.
That's
So
all I'm saying.
in that you still get a lesson.
Yeah, but that's
But
different though, Chris. That's not if you
But that's
nobody's
all.
gonna
But that's all I'm saying.
no, I was
Is
giving an
that
example of
yeah,
what
he's
Nate
giving a
was
great
saying.
example. Yeah, that's all.
right, but
That's
that's
all I'm
not
saying. That's all I
right,
was
but
saying.
yeah, but that's like saying yes, Captain Obvious. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know
Don't be like
yeah,
that.
if you're
I
blindfolded,
know, right?
if you
Golly, wait a
like,
minute.
come on now. How you gonna
Captain, hey,
talk
look,
about that?
hey,
Like,
hey, look.
of course you
You should, hey, look, hey, you should know that.
like
Hold on, you should know that. Wait a minute. Hey, sir, you should know that.
Hey,
I shouldn't have to
you
spell that
should
out for you,
know
but I can spell out
every
the
that's how.
fact that you go, this is bad. What
everything
Hey,
gets
hey,
every time
Tito,
we
that
do
sound like a
something.
hurt person over there talking,
You
man.
know,
That's a hurt
I
person.
know, right? Somebody
that
hurt.
is not
Upset.
everybody
Wait a
hurt. It's
minute.
just because we all but that's not what we talk. We all know that. Like nobody walks into you can walk into
No,
the
we
unknown, you're
don't.
talking about a relationship. Yes, you do. Every relationship you walk into the
But
unknown because you don't know all the things
You're
in
on
the
the
future.
platform. Chiano, you can't just assume that everybody knows that. That's all I'm saying. You throw something out there, you make a statement, and someone can take it and say, "Oh, okay, so only experience I need to go through. If I have to go through something, then this is bad. Then I can't go through it." No, that's not true. That's all he's saying. That's all I'm saying. I
I
get,
mean,
Here's
you
the
know, you want
thing.
to look at,
you're
yeah,
You're gonna go through your ups
yeah,
and downs. That is
yes,
right.
natural. And
We know
and it
that.
doesn't
But
however,
if
necessarily mean
somebody
yes.
Right.
a person
even going
who
through
is
those
if a
downs
person's
can
that
prevent,
literal,
Hold
right?
up,
huh?
Chiano. Hey, Chi.
What?
Let
Say it
Christy
again.
finish. Christy was talking. Go ahead, Christy.
Nate, this about one more time. Okay,
Come on,
I
Christy.
get that she
Go ahead.
talked. Go ahead, honey.
It was
My
her
Well, let her
anniversary.
brother,
finish.
my brother
Yeah,
got
exactly.
and sister. Lord,
I can't do this.
I was
Oh
saying
man, I love this. I
it
love
can go, it can go both ways, right?
Yes.
Even if you go through something negative, it could
Mm-hmm.
lead to a positive outcome.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Even
not
if you
that.
go
But
through
that's
it.
not what we're
But
saying though. Like
if
we're
you
getting off
don't have
topic though.
to go
Hey,
through something, I know, honey bunny. But if you
right,
don't have to go through something and you can avoid it, if you can
Right.
avoid it, then of course you're gonna listen
All
to,
right. Let me put the post up
whatever God
again
tells you.
look,
because I think that's the whole thing of it.
right now in Chiano's head, right now,
Mm-hmm.
he's saying that I made a mistake in
By
sending
bringing
him the
Nate in.
link.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
Nate
Yeah,
all
I already
day.
It was
know. All
it
day.
was a bad experience, and I chose to hear it anyway.
Listen,
Exactly.
this
Right.
is
Right.
exactly the whole thing
Wait,
right
wait,
here.
hey,
Right?
yo,
Don't
fish.
let
Hey, fish.
anyone who
Hey,
has
fish. He's
been in your
saying
shoes tell you how to
listen.
tie your laces. That's the topic.
Look.
It ain't not about
So
Nate or Chrissy or Fish or Jay or Chee.
oh
That's
my
the
God.
topic.
Hey, hold on.
And they'll
Hey,
bring Nate on
hold on,
here
fish.
and he go
Hold
all
on,
the way
hold on.
left. Know
Hold on,
good
fish.
and
Hold on,
well.
fish.
Yeah,
Chiano like, you know what? Through my I've had experience talking to Nate. I know how
yeah.
Nate is, but I'm still gonna bring him on. And
He's
what
still
it
gonna
does
bring
is
him
it causes a
on.
negative situation. I should have
Because
known
Nate
that, and
always.
bring in. Hold on, sorry, I shouldn't have brought
Oh man.
his evil.
First of
Oh
all,
my God.
I'm
Nate
messing with you.
would
I'm
say
messing with you,
Nate's
Chi.
the
Come on, yo.
antagonizer.
Y'all
Keep,
having
So
too
it's
much
all
fun.
good.
Y'all having too
yeah,
much
keep.
fun.
I thought you
Yeah,
stepped away
I
to
know I
pray,
bring Nate
Keto.
on. I have no problem bringing Nate on here.
I
Y'all
thought
having
it's
you
too much
all
I
love,
Y'all
thought you
yo.
went
crazy.
to the back to pray, man.
It's
Listen,
all
y'all
love. You know
crazy.
what? It's all love on this. It's all love. I love this because it's all of us. These are conversations that we have, man. It's all love, though.
I
You know
know
what I mean?
that.
Nah,
It's all love.
And this is why
it
we
It's
have
is.
this
all love.
this is why we have this conversation. This is
Yeah.
why in the middle of a podcast I bring Jay on the show and I bring Nate on the show. Because we gonna do this right here. He gonna do what he do, Jay gonna do what he do, Chris, Christy, and myself. And we're I guess he fell off, huh? I guess he did left the party.
No, he had to do
Where
something,
what's
babe. He
wrong?
had to do something.
I
He had to
didn't,
drop off.
how long he not? Yeah, okay. I missed that. But here's the
No, he
You
deal.
was
upset?
busy.
You was upset over there. You couldn't even see that man left.
No, that's it.
Well, he just hey, look, say on the show.
It's like five. It's like 5 people on screen. Like I didn't see he left.
you too busy cutting off Christy, keep her from talking. Let Christy have her voice. Go ahead, Christy.
Christy tried to tell you, but you cut off.
Right, exactly. Good one, Fish.
Why do y'all even do this? Is the problem right here. This is exactly what is wrong. They said, don't let
break up a
anyone.
happy home.
I can't even concentrate fooling with y'all. See, this is exactly what the problem is. Then we talking about this topic right here. Don't let anyone.
You didn't even give your take. What's your take?
But I gave my take. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's all situational when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, you can't just say there are people. Like I said, there are people who don't have, I would say the degrees, or they have some experiences, but maybe they have a certain, they have somebody in their life, they have experienced certain things, so they themselves can talk to somebody and say, you know what, man, look, my brother went through this, or my dad went through that, or they can do something that's relatable, even though they're not personally experience it. And that's where, when you said don't let anyone, we got to be careful, because there are people right now who will only listen. I'll give an example. Like, there are people who only, I want to take advice from married people because I'm married. Well, not all married people give good advice. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of single people who give great advice. But if you're not careful with that, you'll just go ahead and negate something that is wise and that might be true just because of somebody's situation. Oh, you're single, so you're not on my level. Or you broke, you ain't got no money in your bank account. You can't tell me about finances. Oh, well, you ain't got no degree, so you can't tell me about work this.
On that level, once again, it's like you said, it's situational, but you would have to analyze who's giving you
right.
Exactly.
That's what you want.
And I think somebody
you have. I would say you have to.
Somebody has their hand up.
You're getting.
Me.
Brother
Keto has his hand up.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Of course you did.
It's like 5 screens on there. Go ahead.
The other thing that happens is they need to realize that if somebody, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
You correct the people that you love.
Yes, you do.
Right.
So the very fact that somebody's trying to tell him something, correction means acceptance. It doesn't mean rejection.
Right.
But it's also
but you have to be mature enough to take correction. See, a lot of people aren't because it's about the ego.
You gotta even be mature enough to recognize that. Okay, they telling me something. Why are they telling me this?
Right.
You especially you're not in the classroom. You're not taking a college class. You're not at a seminar. But this is a friend of yours talking to you. Somebody that knows you. You gotta get the mindset. Whenever somebody's talking to me, my first question is, why are they telling me this? What is their motive?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The maturity goes all the way through it. I mean, we can see this just with the 5, what was 6, but the 5 of us sitting on here to be able to listen to each other, take correction, take an opinion.
Well, I'm done listening to Nate, so
I mean,
because you're a hater, and that's okay, because you're in your feelings. Whatever. Emotional.
Can we pause? Can we pause for a minute and somebody pray for this brother in the middle of the screen? Because he needs it. I'm like, good Lord.
I cannot do no full podcast with y'all. I'm trying to get through this thing.
Hey man, I'm telling you right now, the views on this bad boy gonna be high. They're gonna be high. It's gonna be incense everywhere.
When somebody's talking to you, you really can't be in your emotions.
Right.
Keanu.
Right.
Because if you're in your emotions, you're going to miss something that may benefit you.
Keanu.
That's true.
Wise people listen. foolish people argue. I'm like, okay,
That's Nate.
life is lived on a 360-degree circle. But as a single individual, you only see about 181 degrees. So there's a whole nother side that you're missing. So you don't need better eyes, you just need another pair of eyes.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I like that, man. Because in order to elevate, you must educate. I was just trying to rhyme.
Are we rhyming today?
All the
I
time.
was trying to come up with something. I couldn't think of that.
I couldn't get it.
I want to be involved. I'm sorry. You know.
So somebody called me. They tried to hurt my feelings. They said, "Well, you can't listen to Keto because he one of them educated preachers." I told the guy, I said,
"What you supposed to be?
Stupid and preacher shouldn't be in the same sentence."
But that's like so hey, hold up, Keto. So they like don't listen to Keto because he sound like he reads. He's educated. Like what? I mean, shouldn't he? Hey, Keto. Hey, yo, Keto. You're woke. Woke is bad.
Yeah.
You're woke.
You're the woke preacher.
They don't want to talk to a woke one.
Yeah, I'm woke to you. We need peasants.
We don't like you used to read. We don't like
he has the audacity. He has the audacity to read the Bible.
Right.
Yes, how dare you? How dare you read and educate yourself?
The story behind why he said that. He asked me. He said, if a drug dealer give a preacher some money, will God bless him? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, I don't believe that. I said, look. I said, okay, say we're a drug dealer. He comes down to the church and he drops some cash on the preacher. He leaves on his way back to his spot and he get pulled over for mistaken identity. And he's trying to tell this guy, he's trying to say, no. So they lock him up. He's in jail over the weekend. But when he get out Monday, he found out that the corner that he normally stands on was sprayed.
Yep.
So I'm like, God bless you.
Yeah.
See, I had another one on that one too. So I was thinking about, okay, so
yeah, some strippers. I know it had
Yeah,
something.
he took the word bless.
No.
He thought, there have been people that's done stuff for me just because I'm a prophet. Right. And when they did it, the Lord told me, say this to them. The young lady had done something for me and she was talking about going to some Women's Aglow thing. The Lord said, say this to her. I said, the Lord told me to tell you this because you've done this. I said, you go into the Women's Aglow thing. They're going to provide you a hotel room. I said, and somebody's going to give you some money. I didn't even get out the house. I didn't even get.
And she was on the phone. Some friends said, well, I don't want to say her name. Well, so-and-so, we're going to Women's Aglow. You want to go? You can ride with us. We already got a hotel room with an extra bed. And they gave her some money because she blessed the man of God. So now blessing doesn't always mean money.
Mm-hmm.
Blessing can be favor. The word blessing is empowered to prosper.
It can be
able to excel at something desired.
That's true.
It can be knowledge. It can be knowledge. Yeah, it can be knowledge. Yeah, most definitely.
It can be all different things. Yeah.
All right,
yeah. Like I said, hey, if you got some dollars and it had some glitter on it, you know where that money came from.
It came from the strip club.
Well, money is neutral.
Yeah.
Money is neutral. Money will buy bullets and it'll buy milk.
Dang.
It's what you
is
do.
That who you use?
No, but you're right though.
It's how it's used.
Yeah. It buys you
your mic.
Innocent or guilty convictions.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, man.
Yeah, right.
The preacher ain't go in the club to get the money. The money.
Exactly.
You can't know it came in.
No, I'm just kidding.
Look, Lord, I'm gonna pay my tithe. Whatever I throw up belong to you. Whatever fall down belong to me.
Y'all are funny.
Better not throw it too high. Somebody on the second story gonna catch all of it.
Whatever in the air belong to you.
They gonna say God is in me. the God
Wow.
in me
Hey,
taking some of this
Put
money.
them clothes down.
this is
But you
actually
know what though?
this is actually a deep conversation right here.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I
But
mean?
going back
It's
to what
deep,
y'all
man.
was, I'm sorry, Fish, my bad.
No. You got it.
No, go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say, going back to what you said, it's like a lot of times, even getting information from different sources. I honestly think about my grandma. My grandmother, I don't know if I tell you, my grandmother would be 98 years old on the 20th of September. Okay.
Wow, that's a blessing.
Lived a full life.
Yeah, and my grandmother would tell you this. One thing she'll tell you all the time: I don't know everything. I'm still learning, and young people can still teach me. So if she says that, who am I to turn down information or advice from someone else?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it. You know what I mean?
My mama's still trying to learn how to set the alarm on her cell phone.
Because she set the time
She-
on the VCR. Because mom still can't. You know? I'm
They still
joking.
got a
Y'all still have
VCR.
a VCR?
I'm joking. I'm joking. No, because you remember. I know, right? Because you remember back in the day, we go to VC, or maybe I'm telling my age.
I got
But you remember
$20
back in the day,
on
they
it.
can
$20.
you can never fix it. Yeah, and shut up. And the timer was out. The time was never right on. It just blinking.
Never been right to VCR. They never told me
Never.
that.
That's because they didn't read the instructions.
Nobody
Right.
ever said. Did anybody ever set the time on the VCR?
We don't do that. We don't do that.
Keto.
You just let
I
that
think
thing
I think
blink.
I think
You
my
hit
mom
all
did try to
zeros.
say
Figure it out, man. We don't read
she
these
didn't she didn't understand it. She read the instructions. She was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave. Look, it don't keep me from playing videos. We go watch these. We go watch these glorious tapes. I was like,
All
Hey,
okay.
zeros blank.
But
blink.
and it wasn't a life or death situation. So she's
Right.
like, I don't want to learn that. And some people
Exactly.
feel that way.
If you
Hey,
got all the lights
she
off,
just
Right.
if you
had to
got
be at
all the
home to
lights
press
off, try to watch a
record when the
movie,
show
and that
came
thing
on. That's
blinking.
Right. What you
Man.
say, Chee?
But no, but no,
I said all the
it's
lights off, and then that little light blinking.
Yeah.
Try to watch a
Unless,
movie.
like King Fish said, unless you're recording a show at a specific time.
You
Right.
can
It
record
don't matter.
nothing to VCR.
mama gonna
Exactly.
be
That's true.
home. She gonna be at the
Exactly.
Right?
house.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, it's just like like you said, a person that's seeking knowledge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A person that's seeking knowledge would never write that statement.
Right.
Right.
I
But
don't believe
right.
they would, because their ears are open to, you know, whatever it is. Like Keto was saying, there probably was a hurt person that
Absolutely.
said something like that, because you know what I mean, who doesn't want some kind of knowledge, regardless if this person. Well, I do a little different. So when George Floyd thing happened, let's go here. When the George
Right.
Floyd thing went down, you had a lot of people trying to tell certain people, one, how to feel, two, how to protest, you know, all these different things.
Mhm.
And they didn't go through certain situations. So how can you're telling me not to do such and such, but you can't tell me how to do it?
Mm.
If that
Right.
makes sense.
Right.
You
I,
can't
I
you
see what
can't
you're saying. You telling me what not to do, but you're not telling me what I can do.
there you go.
There it
Mhm.
is.
You
And
know what I
I
mean?
also
So
and some of that
yeah,
also, I mean, even going back to the protests and some of that stuff that's out there, I think I like what you said. You know, you tell me what not to, but not give me a solution. But some of
Right.
that
right,
stuff that people saying I do, based on experiences, it was a form of fear as well. You know what I mean? Fear that if you do this, it can upset um whatever I have, or whatever comfortable situation that I'm in. This could upset
right,
that. So no, I don't need
right,
you to
right,
do
right.
that. See, I think some of that also played to, or okay, if they do this, if this person does this, then you know now I'm afraid because now of everything that I've been told. Now what do I do now? How do I protect my people? Because now this is a
Right.
direct threat when it's really not. So I'm with you, yo.
Until
Right.
they're uncomfortable, and then you have a situation
Right.
like January 6th.
Yes,
So
sir.
you know,
Yes, sir.
That was an upsetting situation.
Bing bong.
You know, you want to hear something funny though? Honestly,
Emotional.
January 6th, when January 6th happened, I just kind of looked at it and I was like, that's just them folks being themselves. That's all it is. I'm like, okay, got
Made
it.
in
Because
America.
yeah, it's not even that. It's you're upset with the outcome, and so your only recourse is to go out and to commit violence. But then if you look into the history of where they
talking
come
about the
from,
same thing they said that was done before.
yeah, exactly. You're right.
Oh,
It's
Just repeats
like
itself.
yeah, and that's really it. That's what your issue. So what you don't like, you fight again. But then you sit and you oppress a certain group and you keep pushing, but then when that group or whoever you oppress fights back, now all of a sudden it's a problem. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So you just have
Yeah.
to look at that kind of stuff.
That's what I was saying. You know, as far as you
Yeah.
trying to tell me how to feel,
Yeah.
but then when
Yeah.
when the time comes down to you feeling a certain way,
Yeah.
you're
That's
justified in
true.
how you feel.
Right.
When I reacted the
Right.
same way.
Well,
Right.
You tell me to
imagine.
do something, somebody else, don't you tell me, go ahead, back.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
honey
Stop
bunny.
cutting off.
Nah, he learned.
No,
Nate, leave it alone, man. He learned, bro.
I know.
See, stop.
Really, y'all?
See,
Really, is that where we at? Now I've learned.
preacher got up. Preacher got up.
in that moment,
Oh man.
imagine how the people that was physically there was
Yeah.
feeling in that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Fear.
feeling
Yeah.
like you said, that fear that they had, wanting
Yeah.
to step in, but scared to step in,
Yeah.
Right.
you know?
Well, it's like someone made a comment when I never forget. He said the reason when it comes to certain things that are said negatively about us, and you'll have, there's a line. I don't know. Have you ever seen this movie called Devotion? Have y'all seen it? It's
Yes,
got
sir.
Jonathan Majors.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Remember the line when he said, "I don't need you to throw me a lifeline. I need you to jump in the water with me."
Mm.
That makes it makes a lot of sense because here's the deal. It's like how many times have you had people that'll be sitting there and they'll say something negatively about a black person body, but the person won't say anything because for fear that they will somehow or another will lose the social capital that they have.
You're
You
right.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Don't
when
don't
you
don't
think,
throw me a
go ahead,
lifeline. Jump in the water with me.
jump
Nah,
in the right,
let's both see
right,
what I'm
right.
struggling with.
Yes,
See
most
what I'm
definitely.
struggling
So
with, and see if you can survive the same way I can.
right,
Right.
right. I mean, you can help me like that. I don't need you to throw it to me. I need you to show, hey, be there with me. Hey, stand the struggle. And you have people that have done that. But yeah, man, it's
Mhm.
you have to want to move. You have to want to gain knowledge, and that's the key. I think a lot of times
Yeah.
people become complacent and comfortable in how they think, and will do whatever they can to keep that same life, and not realizing, kind of like what Keaton said, you only seeing 181 degrees, man.
Right. And especially it's like if you only and another thing is a lot of times
Yeah,
in seeking knowledge, you have to be in a place to where you're not just hearing what
yeah,
you want to hear. You're gonna be uncomfortable getting to those places
yes,
where he jumped off, but
yeah,
being a person that read the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
you got some people that not only read the Bible but read the Quran.
mm-hmm,
Right.
They will read both. Just I want to see what why do y'all think like y'all think, or why do y'all
right,
believe what y'all believe? I want to know that too. I want to, let me figure out what I want to believe. That's cool.
right,
But
So,
you have people that go in another area because they need to evaluate both sides of
right,
the spectrum. So it's just a thing of you can't be closed-minded. You can't be
no,
closed-minded in certain things. I don't have to agree with everything that you do, but it's cool for me to know why you do it.
right.
that's true.
Hmm.
That's that because I was even growing up because I grew up in the church and all the Christianity and I was like Southern Baptist, all that good stuff. And as I grew up, I questioned it. Of course, we were taught not to question it. If you question it, it's the devil and all that stuff like that. So in learning that, what I learned was what I got out of everything was like, well, you know what? As I sit there, look at this, and I assess what's going on, I look at religion. Just religion to me is just another form of separation, because the most segregated day of the week is on Sunday,
It's
because
Sunday. Yeah.
Catholics go to their churches, Christians go to their churches, Buddhists, and so on and so forth. And so I think once you get outside of the actual institution of religion and start looking beyond it and looking into what it is as a whole, I think you can learn a lot. But going back to what you
So I'll
said,
tell you
Fish,
what.
it's
Here's what
all
we're gonna
about
do.
knowledge. Yeah,
That's a great topic. So I'll tell
yeah.
you what we're gonna do. We're going to have everybody back on for that. Nate, you have a good segue. I'll probably get with y'all to talk
You're welcome.
about um
You're
probably
welcome.
next Tuesday or next Thursday. But the topic of religion is, I think,
Yeah.
something that needs to be discussed because, like you said, there's so many different religions out here, different
Hmm.
takes on about religion. different ways people perceive religion and God and everything else. I think we need to have an open dialogue. It's going to be ridiculously great because I'm going to have everybody who's on here now on that show. And we about to get into some things. It's going to be amazing. But I got to jump on another Zoom here, guys. So with that segue, we're going to open it up. So stay tuned. If you are tuning in, if y'all listening, you don't want to miss that. I'm going to have a good topic. I'm going to have Jay and Nate and Deidre, Fish, my wife. We're going to jump back on here. We're going to talk about some real topics, y'all. We don't shy away from it. Society's become real PC with things. And so, we don't hide from it. We're going to say the things that need to be said. We're going to say the things that you can't say. because you can't say it at your house. So.
That you can't say and not get smacked.
Right. Not gonna do that.
Right. And Gianno, remember, Thanos was right, man. Thanos was right. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what, Nate? What is that? You know what? I'm not even going there.
Nah. I don't care about your shirt. No, he wasn't.
Thanos was right. Fish got it.
I was like, what?
Hey, Fish. I told him to keep the shield up. I said, don't. As soon as you let him in, what happened? Nope, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like,
for the feeling.
Yeah, I was like, no, keep it up. No. Oh. There goes our Starbucks. You know what I mean?
We had to learn from experience.
Right, exactly. Let the evil in. See, if they had left the evil out, then they wouldn't have been on fire like that. But I guess he had to let the evil in right now.
Oh Lord! I got the person with the shirt on, Thanos.
Yes, sir.
Nate. This is what I heard when I was looking at you. There is room for movement. Something you're trying to do is room for you to move that way. You know what that means better than I do.
There you go.
All right, man. I hear you.
There it is.
Wakanda forever.
He just prophesied to you. You know that, right?
He knows he did.
He
know.
Yeah, we good.
We good on that. That's a good way to end it on that note. So just stay tuned for when we do the other podcast. Talk about religion and everything. We're going to bring it home.
Yes.
This is what we do. It's amazing. I love my family. This is all my family right here. These are my brothers. Baby. This is my wife.
We love you too, man.
So, we're going to do, this is how we talk to each other all the time, y'all. Y'all just get to see it and record it on podcast, but then we do this all the time when we get a chance to talk to each other.
And what Chee learned not to interrupt.
That's right. We don't interrupt Christy. Let Christy talk.
And not wearing any man panties.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got the preacher on here. Hold on.
Bro, all right.
Man, really? The call Speedos.
Hey, Cheetos, Speedos. She brought it back. Oh.
And it's only when I get cut. Only when I'm cut up with muscle. I said I may go ahead and throw one on because I'm just cut up like the bodybuilders.
It's cutting off circulation. It's cutting off circulation. That's what's gonna be cutting off.
You know what? I'm not talking to you. I'm not going to dissect what if I decide to do that right.
Just pray for him about those Cheetos, man. Pray for him,
I'm leaving y'all. Be blessed, not stressed. Believe the best. And let God handle the rest.
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right then. That's all right.
God bless
you. All right, fam. It was fun. Love y'all, man. All right.